This video is one of a series that will help you memorize your Alif Ba textbook vocabulary and in preparation for your Arabic 131 course. This video will focus on the Unit 9 vocabulary in that textbook, which is Al-Mufradat lid-Dars 9. Before I launch into these specific vocabulary, I missed this vocabulary phrase at the end of the last video. Ran out of time on it. Uh, but before I go into that, I want to briefly talk a little bit more about adverbs and the indefinite article. Um, if you see an aleph at the end of a word with two fathas over it, as you do here in qalilan, the blue word here, qalilan, that could mean one of two things. An aleph with two fathas can mean that you're looking at an adverb. If you see that aleph at the end of the word with the two fathas over it, the two fathas, that's called tanween. So the sound is an, an, an. Then you could be looking at an adverb, which is like an ly word in English, right? Um, daily, weekly, uh, something like that, annually, or you could be looking at the indefinite article in Arabic. And what that means is it's the article a, right? A house, a car, an apple, an apartment, an airport, right? So those are the indefinite articles in English, a and an. But when you see this aleph with the two fathas over above it, the tanween, what you actually could be looking at is the word a, right? So a little, a little, a little. This could be an adverb or it could be an indefinite article, right? The definite article, remember, is the word the. Al in Arabic it's al. Al in English it's the, right? That's the definite article. In this case, you could be dealing with an adverb or you could be dealing with an indefinite article. So qalilan, a little bit, right? Adverbs describe verbs like adjectives do, but they can describe other adverbs, they can describe nouns, they can describe other things besides verbs. And then if it's feminine, if the adverb is feminine, it could have a tamarbuta instead. So if a word ends in a tamarbuta or a hamza, you don't put the aleph, you don't add the aleph to the end of it. You add, you just put the double fathas above it. If it ends in a tamarbuta or a hamza, right? So this in this case it's qalilatan, qalilatan, a little, right? This is a feminine version of a little. It's qalilatan, qalilatan, and the masculine version is qalilan, qalilan. All right, and then of course we have a lot, and in this case we have kathiran, kathiran. But in the case where it's feminine, we end with a tamarbuta. We say kathiratan, kathiratan. So kathiran, kathiran, kathiratan, kathiratan, kathiran, kathiran, kathiratan. And let's go back again. Qalilan, 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 excuse me, qalilan, and qalilatan, qalilatan, qalilatan. We covered lakin means but. Now you might hear like a longer a sound here because this is not supposed to be a fatha, it's supposed to be an aleph dagger, which is a miniature aleph hovering over the aleph. So it's supposed to be lakin, the way you pronounce this. Lakin, lakin. And then very. Jiddan, jiddan. This is an adverb. This is an adverb. Jiddan, very, very much, very little, right? جدا كثيرا جدا كثيرا جدا كثيرة جدا. Um, this is the phrase we missed. Ma bika, ma bika. This means what is with you? What's wrong? What's going on? Or if you're talking to a woman, excuse me, you're talking to a lady. Ma biki, ma biki. What's wrong? What is with you? What's wrong? What's going on? Ma bika, or ma biki. Mabika or mabiki. All right, let's go into our lesson 9 vocabulary. A man is rajul, 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 rajul. A man, rajul. And then men, a group of them, uh, actually, there should be a kesra here. Rijal, rijal, rijal. It's not rajal. I believe it's rijal, rijal, rijal. What about a woman? Imra'a, 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 imra'a. And then a group of women. Nisa, 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 nisa. What about a girl? A girl, a girl. Bint, 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 bint. And then a group of girls. Binat, or banat, actually. This is supposed to be with a fatha. This is banat. It's not binat, it's banat. I'll clean this up on the slides, but it's supposed to be an ah and not an eh. It's banat, 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 banat. Bint, bint, banat, banat, bint, banat. And here is a boy, a boy. Also, this word could be a son, a son. And then the plural form could be children and not just boys or sons, right? So um, here we have walad. Walad. You notice that it's very similar to walid, which is a dad, a father, right? But this does not have an aleph after the wa, after the wow. After the wow, there's no aleph. This is just walad. It's not walid. It's not walid. It's walad. Walad. There's a difference between walid, walid, and walad. Walad. Walad is not the same as walid. Walid. So this is walad, and then the plural is awlad, 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 walad, walad, awlad, walad, awlad, a boy, and then boys or children. Sometimes, you might read stories to kids. So a story is a qissa, 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 qissa. And then stories, plural is qisas, 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 qissa, qisas, qissa, qisas. And remember, if we have a proper name after this, it would be qisat, qisat, right? But if you don't have a proper name after this, it's qissa, 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 and then stories is qisas, qisas, qisas. Here is a noun or an adjective for tall or long. It's tawil, tawil. Now this is not the same as table, which is tawila, tawila, tawila. This is tawil, tawil. This has a ya in it, right? Tawil, tawil. That's masculine, someone who's tall. What about a feminine tall person? Tawila, tawila. It has an ila, right? Not tawila, not tawila, not tawila. This is tawila, tawila, ila, ila, tawila, tawila, tawila. That's tall or long for feminine, and tawil is masculine. Now, what if someone is short? Qasir, 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 qasir. That's masculine. Feminine is qasira, 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 qasir, qasira. What about beautiful? Beautiful is jamil, jamil, jamil. Masculine is jamil, and then feminine is jamila, 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 jamil, jamil, jamila, jamila, jamil, jamila. What if someone is nice or they're pleasant? Latif, 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 that's masculine. What about feminine? Latifa, Latifa. Some of you are familiar with the rapper Queen Latifah. This is her name, Latifa, Latifa, Latifa. Queen nice, Queen pleasant. Latif, Latif is masculine. Latifa, Latifa, feminine. Now here is dialectal. These are two dialect versions to tell someone, don't worry about it or never mind. This is not Fusha. This is not modern standard Arabic. So you can have ma'alesh or ma'alish, ma'alish. So ma'alesh or ma'alish, ma'alish. This means never mind or don't worry about it. This is dialect, right? I believe one of them is Syrian and one of them is Egyptian. So one of them is Levantine and one of them is Egyptian. So معليش معلش معليش معلش. And then how would you say there is a problem, right? You would say هناك, which is there is or there, and then is implied, right? And then because we just said previously there's no problem. Now we have the word for problem, right? مشكلة. مشكلة is a problem. مشكلة. مشكلة is a problem. مشكلة is a problem. And then plural is مشاكل. 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 مشكلة. مشكلة. مشاكل. مشكلة. مشاكل. هناك مشكلة. هناك مشاكل. هناك مشكلة. هناك مشاكل. And then how would you say there is a mistake, right? Well, there's two synonyms we have here on this slide. Let's deal with the first one. You can't see the second one. Let's hide that for now. So غلط with a غين, غلط, 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 غلط. That is a mistake or an error, right? An error, an error. غلط, غلط. هناك غلط. There is an error. There is a mistake. هناك غلط, غلط. And then plural is أغلات, 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 أغلات. That is mistakes. And then your synonym here has a kh, right? A kh. So it's خطة, 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 خطة. That is an error or a mistake. And the plural is أخطاء, 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 أخطاء. هناك خطة. هناك هناك خطة. هناك خطة. There is an error, there is a mistake. And that covers all of our vocabulary for the Alif textbook because Unit 10, while it covers various grammar items and maybe some additional letters, it does not cover it doesn't include any vocabulary lists. So our next video will cover the Al-Kitab textbook lessons or units and their vocabulary lists.